Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Texan News Scoop, your week in review of this week's stories from the campus, region, and beyond. Today is July 9th, 2015. I'm Clifford Jones.
And I'm Katy Tonkin. Here are this week's top stories. Tarleton hosts first Coach Caravan. Stephenville City Council tables $80,000 water study. An elementary principal is accused of solicitation of a minor. U.S. agent's gun is used in shooting. New York Stock Exchange stops trading. In campus news, according to the Tarleton website, Tarleton State University Athletics Department with the Tarleton Alumni Association will host the first Coach Caravan. This event will provide Tarleton alumni and supporters in their Metroplex an opportunity to get to know our head coaches on a personal level and hear about the exciting things going on at Tarleton Athletics, said Casey Hogan, Assistant Athletic Director for Development and Major Gifts and the radio voice of the Texans. The event will take place Tuesday, July 14th at BJ's Restaurant in Dallas at 6 p.m. In local news, according to the Stephenville Empire Tribune, Stephenville City Council, after a lengthy discussion, has decided to postpone the $80,000 study on a long-range water resources plan and send it back to the Public Works Committee for more review. The study would authorize HDR Engineering to provide the groundwork for an updated water plan that factors in changing demographics, in particular the explosive growth at Tarleton, current weather and climate changes, requirements by the contractual and regulatory entities, current and future water infrastructure and other factors affecting water in and around Stephenville. The decision to table the study was made by council members worried about the expense of the study.
In national news, according to the Associated Press, a principal for a North Texas elementary school has been arrested at a mall and is accused of trying to solicit children online for sex. 46-year-old Oscar Figueroa, who had been held Wednesday on a charge of online solicitation of a minor, was led to by a sting by the Frisco Police Department. According to the Associated Press, a law enforcement official from the San Francisco Police Department said the weapon used in a shooting death of a woman on a pier in San Francisco belonged to a federal agent. The suspect, Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez, has been deported to his native home, Mexico, 5 times and is suspected of living in the states illegally. When 32-year-old Catherine Steinel was gunned down, Sanchez pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder and told 2 television stations that he had found the gun used in the shooting wrapped in a shirt on the pier where Steinel was walking. Sanchez said the gun went off in his hands, and the public defender, Matt Gonzalez, said Tuesday that the San Francisco woman's death appeared accidental. According to the Associated Press, due to a technical issue, the New York Stock Exchange stopped trading yesterday morning. Here's a video from the Associated Press.
So far, the problem appears to be just isolated to the NYSE. So trading on NASDAQ and on electronic exchanges, the Chicago options trading is normal. Only about a fifth of daily volume in shares is traded through the New York Stock Exchange. So you can, and the shares can be rerouted to other exchanges, electronic exchanges, and that apparently is what's happening because stock prices continue to move up and down. My gut is that there are bigger issues to worry about than a trading glitch. We have a Chinese stock market that's plunging. We don't know if Greece will have to exit the euro. It faces a Sunday deadline to come up with a full proposal to its European lenders. I'm more worried about those developments than a software problem.
Now for this week's scoop.
I'm Clifford Jones, sitting with Casey Hogan, the Assistant Athletic Director and voice of the Texans, talking about the Coach's Caravan on July 14th. Casey Hogan, whose idea was it for the Coach's Caravan?
You know, most good ideas are stolen. So, we took this from a few other universities around the state. Basically what these universities do is they go to the major cities in Texas, take their head coaches, and kind of kick off the fall sports season. So it's an idea we've been kicking around for a few years based on what other schools are doing, Clifford, and so we decided to get it kicked off this year with one event that we're going to do in Dallas, and hopefully down the line we'll be able to go to Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and kind of make this a week-long caravan.
Okay. Whose idea was it to hold it in a BJ's in Addison?
The Alumni Association is partnering with us on this event. It's really an alumni to find a place where people could relax and had a patio, kind of relaxed atmosphere, and they tried to have it at a few places in Addison that were booked, and so they decided this BJ's restaurant would be a good fit.
This event will provide Tarleton alum and supporters in the Metroplex an opportunity to get to know our head coaches on a personal level and hear about the exciting things going on at Tarleton Athletics. What are some of the exciting things going on at Tarleton Athletics?
Well, I think overall just the success of the programs. Last year we finished 23rd in the Learfield Sports Directors Cup, and what that does is rank all the athletic departments in the nation. I think there's 250 Division II athletic departments, and we finished 23rd overall. So all of our programs right now are very competitive. For the first time in school history, we had 3 teams win regional championships: softball, men's basketball, women's golf. 2 of our teams finished in the top 4 in the nation. So a lot of exciting things as far as the university growing, but in our athletic department specifically, just our programs being successful. We're in the top 6 in the nation in basketball attendance. I think we were 5th in the nation in women's and 6th in the nation in men's. That's pretty exciting, and I think 130 Division I schools have less attendance at basketball games than we do, and so a lot of exciting things going on.
Have you got any feedback from your supporters and alum in the Metroplex about this event?
Not yet. We're hoping we have a good crowd. You know, it's always a little scary when you do an event for the first time, just hoping that people show up. We know that Dallas-Fort Worth, the largest alumni base for Tarleton, obviously with our proximity to the Metroplex. There's more Tarleton alumni in Dallas-Fort Worth than anywhere in the world. So we're hoping that we'll have a big crowd, but you know, we've sent out email blasts, press releases. You know, we're personally reaching out to key alumni in the area, and we're hoping we have a big crowd, and the feedback I've gotten has been limited, but it's been positive.
Now, as far as recruiting goes, are you hoping this is going to improve the recruiting capabilities of Tarleton State?
You know, it's not really a recruiting event. So obviously, it's not a recruiting event for student athletes. It's not an event that the recruiting side of the university is involved in. It's more of an alumni engagement, development type event to get people excited about the year. So could it help? Maybe if some high school students were to show up, possibly. But it's not really a recruitment event.
Now, you mentioned wanting to do this again, going down to Houston. How many of these shows are you hoping to actually do?
Well, this first year we're obviously doing 1, but like I said, Clifford, the model around the state with Division I universities is they'll make a week out of it. They'll have a caravan in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas-Fort Worth, possibly, I don't know about West Texas, but the major cities in Texas, most schools will hit them up and they'll do 1 or 2 events a day. And I really used Abilene Christian as a good model for this program at what they do with their caravans. So hopefully if we're successful here in Dallas next year, if we have the budget to do it and the capabilities, we can make this a week-long event, get around the state, talk about the success of our athletic programs. Big things just to get people energized and fired up for the football, volleyball, basketball seasons that are coming up in the fall.
One last question. For those who cannot make it, is there a way for people to find out what is happening at these events?
Yeah, visit tarletonsports.com. Our website is the best thing. Our staff does a great job. Nathan Burrell, Ryan Cox, and those guys in athletic communications do a great job at spreading the message. This event's not going to be webcast or it's not going to be videotaped, but we always have videos with our coaching staffs, all kinds of news articles and feature stories. So the best thing to do is check the website. Football season's coming up, and they'll have a lot of feature stories on that, as well as volleyball. And we've already announced the recruiting classes for basketball. So if you want to see the basketball players that were signed, the new recruits, you can go to tarletonsports.com.
Thank you very much. Casey Hogan, once again, Assistant Athletic Director and voice of the Texans. Coaches Caravan, July 14th in Addison, Texas. Thank you once again for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Texan News Scoop, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Today's show was produced by Justin Pack and Keanu Press, and I'm Katy Tonkin.
I'm Clifford Jones.
Have a great week.